Okay, for the quiz, make sure you can take a right triangle. So this is an altitude, and you're going to have three similar triangles. You're going to have this small one right here. You're going to have the medium one, and you're going to have the largest triangle right here. So what I do is I break them up into three different triangles: the small, the medium, and the large. So the small triangle has a long side of y, a hypotenuse of x, and a short side of 4. The medium triangle has a short side of y, a long side of 12, and then the hypotenuse is not labeled. And then the largest triangle has a short side of x, and the hypotenuse is 16 because 4 plus 12 is 16. So when you're solving for x, what you have to do is look at x and 4. I don't want to do x and y. I don't want to write a ratio as x to y because that's two different variables. So I'm going to write x is to 4 and then check this medium triangle. That's not going to help me. So if I write x is to 4, the medium triangle doesn't help me, but the largest triangle is 16 to x, and that has still one variable, so it works. So if I slide over here, I cross multiply. Now in this instance, I did not solve and write plus or minus 8 because we're talking about a distance, so it's only the positive 8. In the second triangle, you have three triangles again. So I have the small triangle, which I wrote x is to 9. You have the medium triangle, which the short side is x and the long side is 16. And then you also have the largest triangle. So largest triangle has a hypotenuse of 25 because this is 25. But the other two sides are not even labeled. So again, I can write the ratio x is to 9 as 16 is to x and cross multiply. And you always want to make sure that you simplify the radical if you can. So for me, instead of multiplying 16 times 9 and then taking the square root of it, I knew that I could do the square root of 16, which is 4, and the square root of 9, which is 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. You could have done x squared equals 144. X equals the square root of 144. X equals 12. Same thing. Okay, then down here, if I knew that all the way across was 30 and this part was 6, this part's 24. So I broke up into three triangles again. The long side is y, the short side is 6, the hypotenuse is z. And then the medium triangle is the long side is 24, the short side is y, and the hypotenuse is x. And then the largest triangle has a long side of x, a short side is z, and a hypotenuse is 30. So when I'm solving for x, what I'm doing is, here's a triangle that has x. So I could write x is to y, but I don't want to have it in two variables. So I'm going to do x is to 24. So I have x is to 24, and now I'm going to check if I do hypotenuse to long side, this one is z to y. That doesn't help me. So I do 30 to x, which I did right here. And then I factored out 24 was right here. And then I factored out 30, which is right here. And then I broke them, and I pulled out the pairs of 2 because it's a square root. So you can multiply 24 times 30, but to me that's just, it's longer. Why multiply it and then factor it when you already have it factored? And then over here is we know that these lines have to be parallel because these corresponding angles are equal. So I'm going to use the side splitter theorem. X plus 1.5 is to x as 5 is to 2.5. So then in here you would just need to finish, make sure you put this in parentheses, x plus 1.5, and then you put this in parentheses and do the distributive property and solve for x. Move that. Okay, number 2. Oh, actually, no, I skipped this part. Okay, so again, we have parallel lines, so you can use the side splitter theorem. So I did 16. So think of it as 2 sets. You can work with this set first, which I did right here, and then you can work with this set second, which I did over here to find x. So y was 28.6, and then I approximated this because I rounded, because it was a decimal that, I don't remember what it was, but it looked like it didn't stop, so, or it was long, I don't remember. And then right here, what you're going to do, move this stuff, is this is an angle bisector right here. So when you have an angle bisector of a triangle, it breaks off into 2, it makes it so these sides that are left are proportional. So I did 5 is to 3.6 as 8 is to y, and I got 5.76 as my answer. And then down here at the bottom, make sure you know how to calculate the geometric mean. So geometric mean is multiply the 2 numbers and take the square root. So again, instead of multiplying 14 times 6 and then factoring it, I just factored out 14 and I factored out 6. So this is 14, this is 6, and I pulled out the common pairs here. So I pulled out a 2, and then 7 times 3 is in the middle, or is left on the inside, so I wrote 21. And then for the last one, instead of factoring out 20, or instead of multiplying 24 and 4, I just factored out 24, and then I factored out 4. And there are 2 sets of 2, so 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 3 is on the inside.